Welcome, everyone. I would like to call the Williamsburg Independent Board of Education meeting to order. Roger Faulkner will do the roll call, Donnie Patrick, the Pledge of Allegiance, and Kim Williams, the moment of silence.
Kim White.
Here.
Donnie Patrick.
Here.
Alan Staley. Here. Kim Williams.
Here.
Roger Faulkner here.
You'll join me to stand. Attention, salute, the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Okay, in setting the final agenda, we have one addition, the approval of the contract between Reba Moore and WISD. We do not have any special recognition for this meeting. We will move on to the staff recognition.
Okay, we always love this part of their ceremony here, but one of the things we love to do is give our staff the opportunity to nominate other staff members for the Going the Extra Mile Award. And so this month, I'm looking around to see if they're here, we actually have Miss Maya Lowry, and she's not here, but I'm going to go ahead and read this for her, and then Miss Shauna can give her her award. I would like to nominate Miss Maya Lowry, 4th grade math teacher, for Going the Extra Mile in the month of March. Ms. Lowry is a wonderful educator who truly cares about the growth and success of her students. One of the areas in which she excels is her consistent and effective communication with parents regarding student progress by providing clear and frequent feedback about each child's strength and areas of growth. She enables parents to actively support learning at home. This partnership between school and home has a direct positive impact on student achievement. I deeply appreciate Ms. Lowry's dedication, her commitment to open communication, and her relentless pursuit of excellence in teaching. Thank you, Ms. Lowry, for all that you do for our students. That was nominated by Dr. Stephen Moses, but I need to put a plug in there for Ms. Lowry. She also has worked really hard to turn her math classroom into vibrant learning for kids. She had math skills. She was teaching math skills the other day, and they were making, I guess, a trail mix. Every time she gets an opportunity to take her math skills and math content and turn it into vibrant learning, she does that. So we will celebrate Miss Lowry tomorrow. We have another Miss Lowry that we're going to celebrate, and this one was nominated by Mariah Watson, a 4th grade teacher. Cassie Lowry, I'm sure all of you know Miss Lowry. She's in the library. She does a lot of really cool things. But Miss Watson said, Cassie's dedication to fostering a welcoming and resourceful learning environment for our students goes far beyond expectations. From Super Bowl Smackdown to Star Books to simply ordering a book for an interested student, she continuously demonstrates our commitment, creativity, and collaboration and excellence. Her efforts not only enhance literacy and research skills, but also help classroom teachers foster a love for reading in the lives of our students. Cassie's impact is truly invaluable, making her highly deserving of this recognition, and that is from Miss Mariah Watson. Okay, so we have 2 celebrations that we were going to celebrate in February, but the first one is Miss Gail Owens. Come on up, Miss Gail. Miss Gail listen, if you know this lady, you love this lady. She is Miss Dina's right-hand person, always. I would say you're the #1 fan, wouldn't you?
She's mine.
She's mine. Okay, so Miss Dina wrote this about you. Miss Gail is truly a one of a kind. She has worked in our cafeteria for 23 years. Did we get that right? And is absolutely unforgettable to our students and staff. She is committed to the Jacket family. She is so committed to the Jacket family, and I added this part, that she recently had a car accident on the way, well, actually it was Miss Dina's birthday. And where were you going?
To get her a gift card.
She left work to get her a gift card.
Tractor Supply.
At Tractor Supply. We did not realize that Miss Gail had left until, Miss Dina, what happened? She returned how? She returned to work. She totaled her car getting a gift after being here early in the morning, left to get a Tractor Supply gift card, had an accident, called Dina, said, I'm on my way back, I'm okay, I've totaled the car, and showed back up in the police cruiser to finish her job.
Yes.
I mean, you hadn't even started doing breakfast yet, right?
Right.
Hadn't even got to the breakfast.
We were just getting going.
That is dedication. Miss Gail obviously goes above and beyond to help our school community. She cares so much about making each day great for kids and staff. Gail always has a good attitude, works so hard, and helps her coworkers. My favorite thing about Miss Gail is, number one, don't ask her a question or ask her opinion unless you want the truth, because you're going to get it. It's my favorite part. But also, she embodies my vision for here. Every decision we make in the cafeteria, she'll say, it's about the kids. It's only about the kids. And that is my heart. And so, Miss Gail, we love you. And I got something for you. Hold on. Okay,
Thank you.
and I'll let Miss Shauna get a
This
look.
is nice.
This is your Make a Difference award.
Telling you, thanks. I love it.
But we love you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, our next celebration is Mr. Jeremy Metters. Come on up, Jeremy. Jeremy is one of my favorite surprises when I'm walking through the hallway. I love talking to Jeremy. So Jeremy is one of our volunteers here, but I mean, we consider him staff. He's part of the family. I would say Jeremy has some of the highest jacket pride of anybody in this district. He is always here, he's always ready to work, and he is another cafeteria celebration. Jeremy volunteers, and we couldn't make it without him. He helps in the cafeteria. You can always find him doing dishes, helping with the stock, and taking out trash. Jeremy also does a great job helping with our basketball teams and rooting on the Jackets. If you came to any of our home games this year, maybe even away games, then you would have seen Jeremy helping out with our balls, making sure our team was supported and have what they need. Jeremy keeps us laughing and always has a great attitude. We are so thankful for Jeremy being a part of the Jacket family. We appreciate you. I got a gift for you. There you go. You're welcome. Here's your plaque. So let's smile at Miss Shauna. She's back there. You're awesome. We appreciate you.
Good job, Jeremy.
Okay, we've got some, do you want me to move on to the student ones? Is that okay with you? Yes. Okay, so we have actually about 37 students to honor tonight, and that's not an exaggeration. We have had so many great things happening in our district. The first set of students, I'm actually going to honor the teacher first, but Miss Callahan does an amazing job building leadership in our students. She works hard. She takes these students out into the community and beyond, into our state and region and national competitions where they get to learn skills that are absolutely perfect for employability. So Ms. Callahan has what I would consider one of the coolest CT pathways we have here, and it is our entrepreneurship and hospitality pathway. It is one of my favorites. Her classes that she teaches sports marketing, she teaches entrepreneurship, and then the principles of hospitality, and I'm forgetting one, specialized services. And I just think it's one of the coolest things that we can learn as young people, because no matter what you do for life, you can use the skills that you're learning in Ms. Callahan's class. So Ms. Callahan, I'd like for you to come up, and I'll let you help me hand out the DECA celebrations. I'd love for you to share a little bit about DECA. So at the DECA state competition those are the awards. You can come up here. Those are the awards we're going to hand out tonight, but I really would like to go ahead and give you an award for just leadership and excellence and just sacrifice. The amount of trips you go on and the amount of kids that you take places is really remarkable. So we need to give Miss Callahan you are definitely a difference maker. I even found that cool little DECA seal. Who's this? And then I got a pin it for you. I appreciate you. Now, if you don't mind, do you have an agenda? Yes. I'd love for you to tell about what they accomplished, and you can go there and I'll have them come up. Yeah, you can sit it wherever, yeah. Because the microphone works. I just think it'd be cool for you to share what each one of these recipients had to do to earn that award.
A little overwhelmed, I'm sorry. Let's see, got it on my phone too. Can you hear me? Everybody can hear me? DECA is a business club, and it teaches students to be leaders in marketing, hospitality, finance, entrepreneurship. And how we do this is we go to competitions, and sometimes we take tests, but the big thing that students do is they go in for role plays. Now, when they do these role plays, they don't know what they're going to be asked of before they go in there. So they go in and they are given a scenario, and they get, if it's an individual, they get 10 minutes to just come up with their ideas, and then they go and present to the judges. If it's a team decision making, then they get 30 minutes, and then they go in after they've seen the prompt and present to the judge. So that's a hard thing to do, especially for these, and they did so well. So I'll read to you what these guys have accomplished this year. Well, we got second place in the region for the largest membership growth, and our chapter member of the year is Rebecca Kleinert. I don't believe she's here. A lot of kids are in sports, and they won't be here. Huh? Working, yes. For Principles of Hospitality and Tourism, McKenna Stevens got 4th place.
Come on up, McKenna. Is she here? No? Okay.
Savannah Miracle, 6th place. Is Jana here? Jana Stevens got 8th place in Apparel and Accessories Marketing. In Entrepreneurship, Jason Moses got 4th place. Marketing Communication, Candace Sutton. Candace Sutton got 3rd place, and Bella Morin got 6th place. So Bella going up there.
That's really cool. Proud of you.
In Quick Serve Restaurant, Cameron Barton got 8th place. In Kentucky Marketing Management, Davian Hamlin got 2nd place. And then at State, he got 1st place.
Wow, that's cool.
In Kentucky Finance, Casey Scalf got 3rd. In Team Decision Making Financial Services, Jacob Stevens and Matthew Cooper got 2nd. And at State, they got 5th. And I'm mixing up. Leo Moses and Landon Blair also. What place did you get? They got 6th place at region. So I mean, just these kids these kids make it worth it, you know.
They do, and it's so exciting because those are life skills that they're learning.
Yeah.
And, I will say, I'll bring all their awards to your classroom, and then you can hand those out, or they
Okay.
can come down and see me.
Okay.
All right, thank
Thank
you all
you.
so much. DEC is a really cool program. Okay, the next set of student awards that we want to celebrate is, okay, let me make sure I say this right, Music in Our Schools Month. When I came to Williamsburg, one of the things that I loved the most was that music was considered one of the highest level of accolades here. And all 3 of my children were involved in music. And at the same rate that athletics are at the top of our accolades. And so I love the work that we're doing. I even got to be band director for a weekend or a week or whatever it was. And all I could think of the whole time I was there was what stamina that it takes to be able to go to these honor societies and be a part of that. And so we have Mr. Hoffman and we have Mr. Wyatt here, and they have worked really, really hard to keep our music program building. And I do have to go ahead and give credit to someone else in the room that works really hard to collaborate with our team, and that's Dr. Warfield. So Dr. Warfield, I'd love for you, we've celebrated your son like crazy, but go ahead and wave to them. Dr. Warfield is at the Cumberlands. And Dr. Corcoran, raise your hand. These guys show us the ropes. They teach us the things that we need to be doing to build our programs, but not only that, but to help our students develop. And this year we're really excited because we were able to even put into our school day a theater class. So we'll have theater, which kind of embodies band and choir students and anybody else that's really interested in coming out and working with Mr. White on theater. So I love seeing our arts elevated, and so it excites me that we're going to celebrate these students. So come on up and tell these guys what they've done.
Pass out, and then I would talk. I like to talk, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, we are so thankful for a Board of Education that supports music in our schools. And our musical theater class, as Ms. Housekeeper said, started this year. We have 30 students in musical theater. And I was like, okay. So we're going with it. Our production of Into the Woods will be April 17th and 18th, so in this very room. So come on out and join us with that. So of course, we have several students that are out this evening due to various things, but we still want to honor and recognize them. These high school students are all students that have participated in one of three or all three honor bands that they are eligible for. That's All Festival Band, EKU Honor Band, and University of the Cumberlands Honor Band. So let's take, and all regional band as well. I forgot there's 4. So those students are Haley Atkins, Tatum Crowley, Matthew Cooper, Zoe Dibble, Leah Hambrick, Zayden Housekeeper, Leo Moses, Cabela Johnson, we also have, there's Miss Bella. Right on time. We have Colin Jones, Casey Jones, Brody Petrie, Jacob Stevens, Jana Stevens, Candace Sutton, Pascal White, and Peyton White. So all of these students have participated in an honor band of some sort this school year. So let's give them a round of applause. Oh, I'm sorry. And Allie Peace. She was not on my top list, but she was there. Thank you.
There you go. Stay here and let's get a picture. Congratulations, guys.
In elementary choir. Elementary choir meets 2 days a week after school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And these students had the opportunity to participate in the SKMA All Festival Children's Chorus that was held in October. And those 2 students are Christopher Botts and Eli Warfield.
Come on, guys. Let's get a picture from, I don't know where Miss Shauna went. Will you get it, Carrie? Proud of you guys. Very good job.
And then the last set of students, we have our high school choir members, and these students have participated in SKMA All Festival, University of Louisville Honor Choir, and this year, for the first time in my 12 years of teaching, and the first time since I've been here, we had a student make All-State Choir this year, so we're very pleased with that. So we had Bella Morin, Tanner Taylor, Megan Parton, Angel Stevens, and then Mr. Ace Black, and he has both his All-State plaque that he will receive tonight, as well as the certificate from the school.
And if you didn't see it, he was on the TV, right? Where did he sing?
Yes, so actually this group also on Friday evening, I believe, we recorded through KHSAA. They asked high schools to submit recordings of the national anthem. This crew was also the crew that was played before, I think, one of the women's Sweet 16 games. So congratulations to them for that as well.
Very cool. Look at Miss Shaw. Thanks for representing, guys.
And I have one last
one more?
announcement.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The last thing that I had, I also would be remiss, we had 2 grants that help benefit our students this year that are phenomenal. The first one was through the Still Reese Foundation, which was $40,000. And we were able to receive that grant. That went to purchasing a new tuba, a Chromebook lab for our students to use in elementary music, all sorts of different items that we've been able to use and our students have been able to use this semester and this school year. And then the second grant that we received was from the Peter Marsh Foundation, and that went towards our theater program, and that was enough to cover the licensing for our production of Into the Woods this year. So $41,125 in grant money this year. So that's awesome for our students. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all participants for their impressive accomplishments. Next up on our agenda is our special speakers. Taylor Jackson will speak about graduation, followed by Grant Henderson, who will speak about a network refresh.
So before Taylor starts, I'm going to just tell you why she's coming. Taylor, for all you guys out there who were not a fan of me adding minutes to the school day and keeping the calendar the same, I'm going to tell you this cat right here has a future in convincing leaders of the significance. Taylor came to me one day in the front office and she said, "Ms. Housekeeper, I've got something I need to discuss with you. I've heard that potentially we might have to move graduation. We might need to add days after Memorial Day. And I've put together a presentation I want to show you. I've even looked up the legislation to tell you the things that I have learned to convince you to keep our graduation the same and keep us getting out on May 23rd. So I just want you to know I'm here for kids, and when a student takes leadership role like this, I want her to be celebrated. So I said, I need you to share this with the board so that they know that we weren't just crazy. This is the reason. So go ahead and tell them your research.
So good evening, board. So my name is Taylor Jackson, and I'm a senior here at Williamsburg, and I'm here representing the senior class of 2025. So we want to keep the graduation date the same. As many of you know, it was announced on November 18th of 2024 that graduation date will be held on May 24th of 2025, 6 months before the date. So being announced 6 months before the date, many families, including my own family members, have taken off for this special event. So, for example, my aunt, who is a nurse or a VA, she works at the VA office in Lexington. So she drove home from Midway every single weekend after my parents' divorce to take care of me and my sister. So when we were at our dad's, it was always her that we were with. No matter who, no matter what was going on, she was always there with us, no matter what she had going on. And she still studied and graduated as a PA. So my grandfather is also having back surgery during this time, and he's had to plan around it to make sure that he can go on this thing. And many other seniors that are like me are in the same boat, not having their family members there. So why is this important to the seniors? So us as seniors, we want our family members there. This is a huge moment many of us have looked forward to, and including myself, I'm also having 2 graduations as I am graduating from the University of the Cumberlands with my associate's degree in political studies. So having our family members there that cannot make it to the Cumberlands as there's a limited guest, we want our family members here for our senior graduation. And we also have a member of our student body who is graduating this year, and he is actually going to the National Guard. And if graduation date gets changed, he will not be able to attend as he will be in Georgia. So what research is done? When we found out that the date had potential of being changed, I knew that I had to go in and help find something that maybe that could help us keep it the same day. So I went to the Kentucky Department of Education. So what I found is students must have 1,062 hours and 170 days of instructional time. And that is in the KRS 105.07, Section 1. And then in Section 702 KRA 7104, Section 1, Paragraph 5, diplomas will be distributed after a student completes their instructional year. And in the same section, graduation can take place before the last day of school. So we came up with a plan just in case that graduation did get put past Memorial Day. So we want to keep the original date the same. So according to that, we can have graduation before the last day of school. We just can't have our diplomas yet. So with graduation dates being the same, family members can still attend the ceremony. And after graduation, student must return to school for so many required days so we can meet the hours and days that we are provided to. And on the last day of school, the students will have another ceremony as many students get an award for different classes. And we wanted Miss Housekeeper to hand us our diplomas, as her saying this whole year for our seniors, it's not your ticket out, it's your ticket back. So we thought it would be amazing if she could give us that. So thank you for your time, and thank you for just hearing me out.
What I was able to go back and say after our special call meeting, I was able to say, Taylor, guess what? We get to follow your plan, and we get some of our spring break back. So I listened to you, the board agreed with you. It's important that for all of us that we keep everything the same. So her presentation was really critical in being able to have supporting evidence of what our families and our students are wanting. So very good job.
Thank you so much, guys.
You're gonna dismiss them, Kim?
No, we have Grant come out.
No, we have Grant come.
They're leaving anyway.
Oh, we got one more.
Hey. I don't know if you all have heard of the program called E-rate before, but it's a federal program that's funded, I think, a lot through the FCC. So it goes on a 5-year cycle, and this is the last year of the cycle. So they give grant money out based on free and reduced lunch. So they actually, for us, pay 85% of anything we get through there. So this is the last year on this cycle, and we still have $70,000 to spend. That we don't have to spend it, but we just lose it if we don't. So we have all through the school to connect to internet. They're routers, so that's what any computer plugs into, and wireless. So that needs an upgrade. It could last longer, but if we have this money, and they'll pay 85% of it. So what we've been contacting different companies, and we put a bid out. So we got several bids, and that's what you see there. And we ended up going with E-rate, or with Encore. So we'll pay 15% of that, which is $7,600 or something, and that'll come out of one of the other budgets. So, any questions?
That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to celebrate Grant as he's walking away, our new sign out front. The amount of things that Grant has organized and changed here has been amazing. We have new cameras as of yesterday. Grant and Mr. Taylor have been working on that. We have, the camera system that we have now is wonderful. It even has a really fancy AI face recognition. And we have new keyless entry set up. Donna and Grant have literally put in the time and hours for our district to be up and coming and even down to the money. So he's a wonderful addition.
Relating to public matters, each person wishing to address the Board of Education may do so at this time. Okay. We're going to move on down the agenda. We welcome everyone to stay, but for those who would like to leave, you may do so at this time.
We understand.
As last board meeting, we discussed the approval of going ahead and beginning our elementary swim team. And while we all discussed that we will definitely want to add that to our 25-26 salary schedule, that is still going to be in place. We actually are still working on that, but I wanted to make sure that we covered that in the board meeting, that is still the plan, that next year we will have a high school swim team beginning as soon as the school year ends. And so, but you won't see that until we give you our salary schedule. We're hoping for a special called meeting to be able to do that before spring break. Okay? The other thing that we're gonna be sharing tonight, the superintendent principal comments, we combine those because I have attached our comprehensive district improvement plan and talked about our goals. I met with, 2 of our board members earlier in the week to just kind of discuss our goals. But one of the things that is a new requirement is that we have to share our comprehensive school improvement plan, student achievement gap goals. And so I'm gonna have Ms. Parton share our student achievement gap goal. It has been printed, it's on a separate sheet of paper in front of you. And so she's gonna talk about, well, it'll be great for you to talk about your first experience writing a C-STEP. That'll be great. And just our process and what we use.
Okay, so I'll be the first to tell you that writing the CSIP isn't a fun process. But necessary. So it was very good for me because being able to look through past data and kind of where our school is at and what we need moving forward was really beneficial for me as the principal and being the head of instruction here at the school, just knowing what our next steps needed to be. This process was actually really good for that. And so I've shown you some data before, and we talked through some data. I think it was last board meeting that I shared with you kind of some growth that we have had just from fall to winter in terms of MAP data, and we're hoping that our spring scores show even more growth, so keep us in mind for that. But our reading and math goals, they go into a different section of the CSIP, and we do have those, and I can share the entire thing with you. But this that you're looking at now, our achievement gap goals, this one was a little hard because we have such a large percentage of our students who qualify for free and reduced lunch. I think we're up to 86%. I mean, it's pretty high. And so normally, whenever you're writing your achievement gap goal, in a lot of schools in our area, they'll focus on that subgroup or they'll focus on their special ed population. And so for us, those percentages are pretty high.
And so really, this goal is written to address several of those things, but you'll see that the objective there is that we will create and ensure Tier 1, 2, and 3 instruction is developed to support all students and that they have equal and full access to high-quality delivery of the curriculum. And so one thing that we've worked really hard to do this year is we wrote but our MTSS coordinator from the district, Ms. Dana Hill, and then Mr. Stephen Moses, and our team really worked together to implement our new MTSS system and ensure that our students who are needing Tier 2 and Tier 3 instruction are getting that in the appropriate setting and for the appropriate amount of time. And so this goal really goes toward making sure that not only are they getting those services, but that we're identifying those students in plenty of time so that we're addressing those gaps before we get to the point of special education. Of course, some of those students do go on and need those services, but some of them are able to kind of step back down on that ladder and go back into our Tier 1 instruction population. So that's really what this goal is about, and I'm not going to read it all to you. You have a copy of it there, but here we go.
So one of the things that we've worked really hard to do is we've worked really hard to not work in isolation. And so while it has taken a lot of time together, we've spent lots of time together, lots of togetherness, to write these goals. And so, it would be really easy in a unit school to have a CDIP that looked exactly like the CSIP. It'd be very easy. And we could get by with that, and the state would go ahead and approve it. But I've really pushed our school level administrators to think, okay, here's my overarching goal for our district. Now, let's narrow that down. What does that look like in elementary, middle, and high? And so it's really created a wonderful collaborative environment, and we've spent a lot of time together, but I feel like we definitely have a plan where every single thing we do, every decision that we make, you're gonna find it in the CSIP or the CDIP. You're gonna see that the resources we're asking you for, the supports we're asking you for, are directly aligned with what our goals are going forward. And so I explained to two of our board members yesterday that you gotta think the CDIP and CSIP is really, it's approved January 1, and you don't turn it in again or revise it until December 31st, which you would think is counterintuitive for a school district that we don't operate like that, but it's a way for us to continue that cycle of improvement over into the next year before we revise it again. So this is a January 1 to December 31st plan. And so there's lots of in there. If you guys want to review it, you can ask questions or whatever, but I'm really excited about the opportunity to show growth.
Thank you. Do we have any staff comments? Is our WEA representative here?
Football.
Okay. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Approval of February minutes, monthly bills, treasurer's report, monthly financial report, fundraiser request, and board travel for the upcoming month. Are there any questions? I need a motion to approve these mentioned items.
Motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. We'll move on to the action agenda. Number 1, approval of the proposed 2025 district facility plan.
Okay. The next 3 action items, I'm gonna have Mr. Taylor kind of share where we're at in the process and give you guys updates on these.
Good evening. So I think I said in the last time that we talked about the district facility plan, it is our year 2025 to have a new 4-year plan for the district. The local planning committee has worked extremely hard to produce that facility plan. That was approved at the last local planning committee that we had in March. We've had a great success with our architects, the DECO architects from Somerset. And so, again, At the last meeting, the district facility plan was approved and will now need your approval as well to go to the Kentucky Department of Education. The next line, it gets a little interesting. The way this was supposed to work was that you all were supposed to approve the facility plan, and then we were to request a packet for a hearing, a public hearing on our facility plan. However, I think they thought that Mr. Patrick did a really good job on the local planning committee, that they went ahead and sent the hearing packet, and so we're a little bit ahead, okay? So really, what needs to occur is that you need to, if you choose, to approve the district facility plan. And then what would need to come next is that from the board, there needs to be a hearing officer appointed for the public hearing and the date set for that, which I would encourage before the April board meeting, that we could have the public hearing and then at the April meeting approve all of that and send it to the Kentucky Department of Education for their last approval. So that's kind of where we're at with what you have in front of you for 2, 3, and 4 on your action agenda. And I'm sure there's no questions.
Are there any questions?
Is that, yeah. What's the 19,786 at the top of the one page?
Top of which page?
Under 2C, Williamsburg Independent, 8191, 2011, 130,691 square feet. I guess if I read it, it can tell me that. But
Potentially.
I guess I don't understand, we just spent X million.
Well,
Rehabbing this.
Yes.
And then we have the new one. and
yes.
then-
So,
What, okay.
So-
I'll let you talk. Not previously renovated in 30 years. What wasn't touched in the X million we spent renovating and building?
basically, your, what they call superstructure, the foundation, support systems, and all of those things in the old part of this building are dated 30 years, such as the roof and some other
We
things.
spent $6 million. We spent more than we spent building it, and we didn't do that. Is that what you're telling us? We didn't do major.
I think that the,
$5 million we spent.
the renovation from, was that 2017, was lighting and heating controls, HVAC systems, those kinds of things in the old part of the building. Is that accurate?
Okay.
Really what the facility plan does for you is it allows you to take on major projects if you so choose. If you don't choose to do anything, you don't have to, but those are the projects that our architects felt needed to be in the plan to address next.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's just that everything in that one paragraph should be what we did. And we obviously, Mr. Johnson back there, tell you, we had a diaper up there in the ceiling, and roofing was, it says replace roofing, gutters, downspout. I mean, we have spent a fortune on the roof. I guess it never was right from '83 on. We have spent a fortune on the roof, so that's why I'm confused.
And so by listing those
But
things.
it's saying not replaced in 30 years. I mean, we've replaced the roof multiple times, but
But
maybe it's still.
here's, what's big about that is if you don't list that, then you can't replace it at any time in the next 4 years if you need to,
How many years?
in the next 4. So by having that in the plan, if
But
it
you're
needs to
lying
be
if you're
replaced,
saying it hadn't been replaced in 30 years. If you're saying the roof hasn't been replaced in 30 years, I don't want something that isn't true in there. I mean, that's, what part of the building is it saying wasn't replaced in 30
what you're under.
Well, that was replaced
place then, was it not?
Yep.
I mean, Billy?
According to what you all told me, yes, it was.
Well, is the diaper up there now?
El Chandler had 30
Huh?
years of maintenance contracts on it that was fixing piecemeal, and then 3 or 4 years after that, and I'll be raised hell about that, there was a whole contract, put a whole new roof on, I was told,
Why
and
didn't he address
it was
this
been done.
So were we.
before?
I just, go ahead, I apologize. I just thought it had been done. We paid for it to be done.
It was done. It was done. Because we seen them up there doing it.
Hmm.
But I don't remember what the date was it was done. When we,
That's when I fought with them over a lifetime contract.
yeah.
Okay, that's okay, whatever, I won't vote. Because I was here, the rest of them weren't here.
So what,
Donnie
where do they
Bruce.
get that information? Is this part of the architect research?
Yes.
Whatever. And I will tell you this, the district facilities plan, the purpose of it is, they tell you, this is like your Santa Claus wish list. Everything that you could potentially
I'm
ever
not
want.
arguing that, I'm just saying though, if you say it hasn't been replaced in 30 years, it has, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If he says it hadn't, then he needs to come here and show us where it hadn't. Let us show him the diaper, when they call it diaper,
That's what they call it.
in the one room. I'm not picking on you, you understand that. I am, but I don't mean to. I'm picking on 30 years. Some of us haven't been, he's been here 30, he can't remember,
No, I've been here
and I
30
can't
years.
remember. But I'm just saying that's what I was.
Well, do we need an addendum to that, Alan, or what do we need to do?
It doesn't impact it.
No,
It doesn't impact
Do whatever
it
they're
at all.
doing, I don't care. I mean, I'm just saying what I thought was, and as long as in the next 4 years you have in there a
if something must have happened. then-
multi-purpose building, then I'll go along with.
Well, then you need to vote yes.
Huh?
Then you need to vote yes.
Because that's one of the requests.
If it's in here,
It's in there, and that's why you should vote yes.
Yes.
okay.
It's
As long
big.
as we get that, I'll be okay.
There you
I'll
go.
gladly get out of it.
Are there any additional questions?
I'm sorry, I'm not picking on you, you understand that, but I mean, that,
Or do we just
you
change it?
should have been here when it was leaked.
Well, I wasn't, so I can't attest to the fact that it was changed.
Yeah.
So,
We watched them. They changed it.
Okay. I'll vote to approve it, if you want a motion.
Okay.
If it'll help us.
Do we need to vote
Yes.
on them 3 together or one
No,
at a
we're
time?
gonna do
One
them
at a
separate.
What?
Okay.
Okay, Superintendent Tabitha Housekeeper recommends the board approve the proposed 2025 district facility plan. I need a motion to approve this action item.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Okay, we'll move on to number 2. Approval to schedule a public hearing from the Kentucky Department of Education.
You want to talk about that? So this is just approval to, number one, request the packet that we've already received.
we've already got.
And me and Mark decided we're gonna put it in our board tonight anyway, even though we've gotten it, that way
You
we
really
don't
need-
miss
Yeah,
any
that
red
way
tape.
yes.
But
We've got
also, he
minutes.
needs your approval to be able to schedule a public hearing.
Are there any questions?
Nope.
Okay. All right, Superintendent Tabitha Housekeeper recommends the board to approve to schedule a public hearing and request a hearing packet from the Kentucky Department of Education. I need a motion to approve this action item.
Motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, like sign? The motion is carried.
Who made that motion?
Number 3, request to appoint a hearing officer for the upcoming public hearing to review the new district facility plan.
That is supposed to be a member of the Board of Education.
Doesn't need to be me.
I'll make a motion.
Shouldn't it be Alan?
You want to be it?
No.
He said no.
He said no.
Donnie?
Any volunteers?
What does a hearing officer do?
The public hearing will be,
Well, there won't be anybody there, but if there was somebody.
well, if somebody comes, then you'll have to listen to their input and feedback on the plan,
Okay.
and then take notes on
I'd have to
that
know what
particular
the
plan.
plan said too, by the way. If I'm gonna disagree with them.
Yep.
Okay. I Donnie Bruce will do good. Let Donnie Bruce.
He's done good on the local planning committee.
Is he on the,
He was on the local planning committee and he did a good job on our committee.
Oh, so he
Will you
can't
do it?
Yeah,
he can still be it.
Well, he knows what was done better. Yeah,
Exactly.
I think he agrees with that.
I make a
You
motion.
good, Donnie?
Okay. All right. Okay, Superintendent Tabitha Housekeeper recommends the board to approve the request to appoint a hearing officer for the upcoming public hearing to review the new district facility plan.
I'll make that motion,
Is
as
there-
being Donnie Bruce.
Is there a
Patrick.
second? We get a second?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign.
Roger, did you second it?
Yep.
Thank you.
No, Alan did, I'm
I
sorry.
did.
Oh, Alan did. Okay, thank you.
Okay, the motion is approved.
So did Alan nominate? Was it
Alan, did
he
you nominate?
nominated?
He nominated Donnie.
And I made the motion.
Okay, we'll move on to number 4. Review the proposed first draft of the 2025-2026 school calendar.
It's actually the second draft,
Yeah, it's just
that
the-
is a
second
revision
draft.
to the agenda.
Okay.
It's a second reading.
It's the second draft,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there any discussion?
I didn't note any changes. Were there any changes with this draft?
Yes, there were
Okay.
changes. And Mr. Brian Berta would be
I haven't really
here.
seen it. I've heard a lot about it.
It's in your packet. Yeah, there's been a lot go on, but,
When are we starting? July what?
okay, so let me go back to draft 7. Draft 7 was suggesting that we go back to a traditional calendar, which would give us an earlier start date. So after feedback, and actually after I spoke to one of our legislators, he shared how critical it would be that we not give up our variable calendar. I brought that back to Mr. Berta and our calendar committee. I explained, while we want more days with students than 164, I think that we were all in agreement that 164 days with students is too few.
Yep.
And we just wanted more time with kids. What I said to our legislator, I said those exact words, and he said, well, honey, with a variable calendar, you can have as many as you want. You just gotta get 1,062 hours, and you gotta start after, that last week of August, or the second last week of August. So, we brought it back to the calendar committee, and Berta revised, he took draft 7, which actually ended up being draft 10 by the time we got it to the calendar committee, because people didn't agree, and it was not fun to make that decision. And I was not on the committee, I was just the one receiving the information. And by the time, actually, he presented to the calendar committee a draft 9, which was a variable calendar with a full week of fall break starting on the Wednesday after the 25th in August, and just a lot of mixed days, and then draft 7. So what came of the last calendar committee meeting was that we wanted a compromise. We wanted the variable calendar, but we wanted more time with kids. So this draft 10 is the compromise. It is beginning on August 25th, moving our fall break back to, Alan, this will make you happy, back to that week of Thanksgiving break already. And then we would be able to, we wouldn't, deal with any kind, it gives us a full month of instruction, is what it gives us. The full month of October has instruction. The only hesitations were that maybe we didn't want to start on a Monday, August 25th, but that was the only way we could add in 2 more days with kids. I feel like the other situation was, Ms. Parton, do you remember any other days that we were shaved off that we added with kids?
So we're good on this one? Why are you going back to November? I thought everybody's mad. I love that. And then you were starting the 26th. I always thought, why do we start on a Wednesday or Thursday? Because you go 2 or 3 days, then the kids are off too.
And then
So
we
we've
have the
got nothing wrong
old-fashioned
with
days.
going Monday.
We got
Yeah.
all faith days.
Huh?
I don't think there's anything wrong with Monday. Listen, I'm just giving you the facts.
We don't want, we can, we just just want to be legal and go to school 3 or 4 days a week occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want more instructional time.
We didn't schedule, we just gave them permission to do it.
Start over again. But everybody was bitter about it. I was the only one for it, I thought, and everybody else, because it made sense to get out in November for the week instead of, well, we get off 22 days, 8 or 9. That was the controversy.
And I'd like to say the variable counter saved us this year.
It saved us. It absolutely saved us. And we would, here's the other benefit of not losing your variable calendar. We don't have any days to play with. If you get rid of the variable calendar, go to traditional, there are no more bank days. By doing the variable calendar, it gives us bank time. And just so the board is aware, we still pay our certified staff for 186 days, no matter how many days we have kids. So we all decided we want more days with kids, because they still have to work 186 to get their calendar. And so everybody agreed we want more days with students in the building to teach. And so this draft 10 is the compromise between draft 7, which you saw last board meeting, and then draft 9, which happens somewhere in between.
I know everything we did as a board this past spring is geared toward getting our test scores up and the kids
Yes.
that got being found, and this has been a crazy year anyway.
And yet, I did have a comment that they were glad that we weren't starting the 1st of August.
Yes.
You know, so that complimented that effort too.
Okay, we'll move on to number 5. Approval of the WHS senior trip 2025 during spring break,
Do we have to
March
approve
29th
that?
through
Can we
April
have-
5th to Washington DC, Philadelphia,
No,
and New York
just
City.
We forgot to vote on it.
Oh, I didn't think it's just the review.
No, this is approval of it. If there, unless you have other changes,
Nope.
unless you have changes.
Okay,
And
then
it
we need to
shouldn't-
approve
It
it.
should not say
Yeah.
review.
Okay.
It should say approval of the proposed.
Okay. All right, Superintendent Tabitha Housekeeper recommends the board approve the 2025-26 school calendar.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Okay, number 5, approval of the WHS senior trip 2025 during spring break, March 29th through April 5th to Washington DC, Philadelphia, and New York City. Are there any questions? Superintendent Tabitha Housekeeper recommends the board approve the senior trip for spring break. I need a motion to approve this action item.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? The motion is approved.
I'd like to make a request on that, not to change anything. I'm very much in favor of their trip. But I would like to see some evidence of their trip. And I think that, I don't want to put that into the motion, but I do think that that would be an opportunity for our seniors to speak. And I'm all about having them have the opportunity.
That's great. Number 6. Approval of the WISD Comprehensive District Improvement Plan.
And that's attached for you guys. We are required, and you've already heard a little bit of it, we're required to have a goal that is measured by the Kentucky Summative Assessment, the KSA data, for reading and math. You're required to have an achievement gap goal. You're also required to have a goal, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of this goal. It combines our science, social studies, and writing. It's the specific academic indicator goal. And when you combine, and in my mind, if you're a social studies teacher, why is your measurement, bulked in with science and writing? So we're also required to have a goal where we are focused on post-secondary readiness and graduation rate. And so that has already been submitted to Katie and approved, and this is just your opportunity to be able to see it and approve the goals that we have.
All right. Are there any questions? Okay, Superintendent Tabitha Housekeeper recommends the board approve the WISD Comprehensive District Improvement Plan. I need a motion to approve this action item.
Motion.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed, like sign. It's approved. Okay. Number 7, approval of the contract between Reba Moore and WISD.
Okay, so Miss Dana was not here. So we do not have a school psychologist, and so we have to contract out those services. We have several students right now who are in need of their evaluation for special education. So our contract with Reba Moore would mean that she would do the testing for us, and she has a much shorter waiting list than the ones that we're using right now. And this is critical for our students. We have to have this support. And so the way this would work is we would pay her, we would contract with her and pay her per student. And so, it looks like it's $150 for the cognitive and full-scale battery testing. So then what would happen is we would get that report back and be able to write an IEP or have ARC meetings based on that documentation. So this was the addition to tonight's agenda. This just came into play today, and Dana was really excited.
It's a must.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't
I mean,
function without it.
we have no way of placing our special needs kids if we don't have this, so.
We have to always have it.
Yeah.
So I'll be more than happy to make the motion when you ask for it.
Okay. All right, the Superintendent Tabitha Housekeeper recommends the board approve of the contract between Reba Moore and WISD for school psychology services.
I'll
I
make
need
the
a
motion. I'll make it.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved. Next up, we'll have an update from our finance officer, Dalton Sizemore.
All right, so I got a little tax update. So for February, our total collections to date were $1,015,670,
I
which.
didn't hear you speak into that microphone.
Oh, okay.
So I can hear what you said. Don't mumble like you're calling sick.
I got you.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so for our collections to date through February, we've collected $1,015,670, which is $204,938 more compared to this time last year. The collections prior to February, we collected $1,008,919, which was up $211,807 from the previous year. In the month of February, we collected $6,750.15 worth of taxes. That was about $6,868 lower than this time last year. Our exonerations went up $1,169 compared to last year. We've collected $4,973 in exonerations. We still have 323 bills outstanding that add up to $119,729. And our collection percentage is at 81.76, which is 3.16% higher than what it was last year. And I will go on and add that the total collections on your monthly finance report on the revenue page, last month, you'll see it's over $1 million from what we budgeted. I went and spoke to my mentor about Fund 320, and it was about this time that he has moved his local effort into Fund 320. So based on our local tax revenue, I went ahead and moved our local SEEK allocated money to Fund 320, which is about $279,000.
Repeat slowly what the 270 negative figure is. Where did it go?
It went to our building fund, so that is on SEEK, it's on the lower left-hand box. You'll have 4 numbers, 2 of them from the state, which the state matches us. We get those direct deposited once at the beginning of the year, once towards the end. And then there's 2, I believe it's about $139,000 and some change. That is our local effort that we take from our tax revenue and put into our building fund that we can use to for building repairs and maintenance.
It wasn't a negative to the income coming.
No, you'll just see that like it looks like the income went down,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, you got a big negative there on the
Yeah.
first column month to date, so I was hoping.
Yeah, we had to move that to.
Giving it back to those that donated it.
No, we put it back to our building fund to update our building.
Thank you.
No problem.
I didn't mean to pick on you like I did.
I'm not. I'm
You
just
did
glad.
good,
I'm
but
just glad you got to
shook me
see
with
our.
that negative 270, that's all I'm gonna say. Just thank you.
It'll be put to good use.
Kept me awake till I could harass you.
Now we'll hear from our HR Director, Carrie Hamlin.
Not as many hires this time. So we hired Lori Mullins, and she is a substitute. Donna Douglas has taken our role of Assistant Athletic Director. Austin Rice, High School Assistant Baseball Coach. Cade Slusser, Middle School Boys Head Track Coach. Chad Terry, High School Boys Assistant Track Coach. Kayla Henderson, Senior Sponsor. Our resignation was Misty Crowley from Middle School Girls Assistant Track Coach, and FMLA is Miss Tiana Akins, who is on maternity leave.
Thank you. Are there any board member comments?
I normally make comments that shouldn't be made, but that's, I apologize, that's why I don't have a microphone. I would like to make, I don't think you had it at the last meeting. If you did, I wasn't here. We had 2 individuals from our school inducted into the 13th Region High School Basketball Hall of Fame, which I know doesn't mean anything to the football-minded school, but Patrick Robinson, who coached here roughly 11 years and took the 2015 team to the state tournament, which was the first time in 69 years that we had been, and earlier in his career he had received a great deal of abuse from many different people, and in fact we were told at one time when these kids who later went to the state when they were freshmen and sophomores and won more than we'd won in a long time, but not all, but we were getting what we asked for. And what we asked for was what we got. And I hate we didn't. We jumped off 13-0 and then had other problems. And we didn't win the first game, but I'm very proud of Coach Robinson and his teams. And also our best, I guess, the most loyal individual we have in our school, who turned down a great opportunity to go with Coach Swords to Whitley County, as Bargo. So they did recognize him also, and I thought that was great. Stan Lovett is the only other one I know that was connected to our school besides these 2. So I did want to make that comment. Thank you.
Thank you. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. The motion is approved and the meeting is adjourned.